So, for those just joining, we're interviewing Sandman Cosplay, um, and he's cosplaying as Doctor Strange. Very nice, very cool cosplay. So, let's get dive right into it. So, how did you discover cosplaying?
It was actually one of my friends needed a ride. They're like, "Hey, you want to come hang out for the weekend? There's some pretty cool stuff." And
Nice.
they're like, "Don't worry, we got you." I'm like, "Oh crap."
Like, what are
So
you dragging me into?
yeah, so my first con was actually Sabaton when it was in Mesa.
Yeah,
Oh, that was an interesting experience unto itself.
yeah. So, what was your first cosplay then?
My first cosplay was actually for like actual cosplay when I knew what it was actually just a generic zombie hunter with
Nice.
DOZD.
Very
But
nice.
yeah, there's some earlier ones that are hilarious.
Of course, of course. Well, like back in the day when cosplay was not cool, or you were
It
the
was Halloween.
outcast. You know,
Yeah.
we were.
Halloween was when you got to shine.
Yep, Halloween was when you dressed up when in different outfits and everything like that. Um, so what cosplays are you working on right now?
Oh, I've got a handful of them. I'm actually working on revamping completely my Attack on Titan. I've got a little bit of work to do on Mel from Firefly.
Yeah.
I completely trashed my what is that? My Saiyan and started from scratch doing all hard armor instead of soft foam,
Oh
which
wow.
I am totally regretting right now. It took me 3 days to build my original Saiyan, and on my Instagram you can see it. It looks great. Everybody complimented it. I never should have got rid of it. I've changed my mind. I want it back.
Right. Right.
I'm I've been gathering the stuff for Inuyasha, trying to find the right fabric to do his robes out of has been a nightmare. Uh, I'm building Al from Full Metal Alchemist.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
gonna be that's gonna be a big cosplay.
yeah. I'm building it on my YouTube channel, so
Very nice. Very nice.
yeah, it's all censored.
It's all censored. Nice.
I'm actually building Galactus right now for. I was going to do it this year for PCC, but with everything going on currently, it just kind of got put to the wayside,
Yeah.
along with all the conventions.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the norm right now. Is all the conventions are canceled, and we're just going through the motions of it, and we have to deal with it the way it is. And
Yeah.
you know, so have you ever been in a cosplay contest?
I actually did my first one last year. I did Tucson Comic Con.
Nice.
I got docked points for being in the wrong class. I went for beginners because it said if you've never been in a contest before, this is where you start.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you should have been in advanced. So I got docked points. I took second though. But
Nice.
the lady that took first built everything from scratch by hand, and her stage presence was off the chain.
Did you were you Doctor Strange on that one that contest?
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah,
that's the one
because
I picked out.
I was gonna say that's not a novice outfit.
Yeah, no, that's what I got told.
Yeah.
You were competing in the wrong place. You were looking for that first place win, so we're gonna hit you a couple points.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. That's my plan too as well. Like uh if or when these cosplay ideas come uh to fruition. I've seen my wife's work with costumes and there's no way I can pass as a novice. It's either journeyman or master and I'm going to try journeyman and we'll see. Yeah.
Right?
We'll see if I don't get docked points for that. No, it is so much fun to be part of a cosplay contest. So you said you prefer sewing more than armor making, or do you like wig
No,
working as well, or do you think you like them all?
I hate wigs. I will pay $50 to anybody that'll style my wig. I hate working with them.
Yeah.
I It's a foreign concept to me, but you give me fabric, armor, I can do whatever you want.
Nice.
I'll make it happen. I
Nice.
prefer sewing and armor making. Everything else I do not so good with it.
No, there's always a pitfall to, cosplayers is they're really good at this and they're really not good at this, or they're really awesome at this. And so when you do take photos, do you like to take them at conventions, or do you like to go to specific locations, or are you more of a green screen type of cosplayer?
I I have no preference in either direction. I love doing photo shoots. I love working with good photographers. Just did a photo shoot recently with one, waiting for the pictures back. I can't wait.
Yeah. Now, have you ever had any of your coworkers find your cosplay?
I have had a few of my coworkers find it, and it's been absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I had
my
I had a coworker go, "Wait, I saw you on Instagram." And we're like, "What? Really? Wow. Okay."
Yeah, I get a lot of poking at,
Of
and
course.
it's kind of funny because I'm like, well, at least I got a hobby.
What's your hobby? Sitting around
Yeah,
drinking
and
beer.
yeah,
Yeah.
and right now, like their hobbies are like going out and going places and this and that. My hobby's sitting at home, making stuff.
Yeah,
And
well,
with everything going on right now, I'm like, oh, how's your hobbies going? They're like, man, ain't nothing to do. I'm like, I'm
yeah,
busy as can be.
yeah, I'm busy as heck, right? No, exactly. And so that's what you're doing during the pandemic, is just working on your cosplays and making them better, and creating new ones.
Always creating new ones. I can never quit working on this stuff.
Well, that's cool. That it's good that you're able to do that. Unfortunately for me, I'm like the eye candy of cosplay, where I have zero talent with sewing, armor making, wig working, makeup. I can't do that, and so that's something that's a goal of mine, where I'm going to start learning how to sew, start learning how to armor build. So, what is something in cosplay that you would love to start to learn?
Jewelry.
Jewelry.
Yeah, it's a foreign concept. I tried it a couple times and failed miserably. And everybody's like, it's really easy when you do it like this. I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to watch and watch.
Right.
But yeah, it's like this. I had to buy this one. I couldn't make that if I tried.
It's very hard. We're looking at the pattern for Fimo clay, and the wife wants to make the whole entire medallion, the eye, out of Fimo clay. Yeah, that would work, but very hard, probably.
Yeah, I wanted to actually cast this,
Yeah.
do a straight cast of it, and I just haven't gotten the guts to try it yet.
No, there's always that part of your cosplay where you're just like, I can't do that.
Mhm.
No. And well, it's okay though. It's okay, because that's something that you're going to work on, and that's going to be um, in the future. Maybe you'll be able to do a cast of it and everything. So, what type of character do you think you cosplay frequently?
You're looking at
The
it.
Doctor, the Doctor
I live
Strange.
in this thing.
Well, it's a cool cosplay. It's fun, like, as long as it's not so hot where you're dying of heat stroke.
Yeah, as long as there's a little breeze, or my personal favorite trick, I learned it with Batman. Ice packs are my best friend.
Nice. Those
Because you
little.
go out, no, you want to throw them in the sides,
Oh, there
on
you go.
your sides, because it'll cool down your respiratory, which goes into the blood system, helps you cool down a little bit more.
Smart.
I've learned over the years of this.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, what are your three top craftsmanship tips that you would offer?
Don't run. Don't run into it. Stop and think about what you're doing 5 steps ahead of where you're, and be ready to change everything that you just planned on a moment's notice. I have spent way too much time getting way too far ahead of myself
Mhm.
and going, well, now I've got to throw this whole thing away and start over with everything I just messed up and do it the right way this time. And my second one is the word you can't do that. Don't listen to anybody saying that. They probably think you can. They can't.
Yeah, they're jealous.
Yeah, stop and think about how you're going to, not if you can or can't. Because that's the best part about this stuff is if you can think about how to do it, you can make it happen. And pick certain materials to work with. I work with like 50 different ones, and I'll spend 4 hours sitting here going, do I make it out of this, or this, or this, or maybe that?
Right.
I end up getting so far spread out and spend so much time just deciding what to use. It's like, oh no.
No, yeah, it was funny when we were researching for Doctor Strange cosplay. I'm like, oh, I found the pattern over at Joanne's. Here you go. And my wife pulls out her book of all the things she's printed off the internet. Oh, I've already got a lot of ideas for your cosplay. I'm like, holy cow, woman. I was like, I didn't think it was that intricate. And she's like, yeah, this is the right color that we want for the cosplay, and this is the right we're gonna go with linen, and I'm like, oh my gosh, geez, you've thought about this a lot more detailed than I would have. Because with me, I was like, oh, procosplay.com selling it for like $200. She's like, no,
No.
no. I'm like, okay, fine. Because that's with her, she has fibromyalgia and lupus, and so with the sewing, I don't want her to get too much into the cosplay and hurt herself. And she's like, no, 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 it'll be fine. I'll pace myself. We got plenty of time now. I'm like, of course.
A whole year.
It's like craziness. Yeah, we have a whole year before Fan Fusion comes back. It's okay. So
Please come back.
right, please, for the love of gosh, like this seems like it's the new normal. So for you, the pandemic hasn't really slowed down your cosplay. It's kind of like just put you in an area where like, hey, we don't have to go out anymore, so because everything's shut down, so working on my cosplays.
Yeah, that's pretty much the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
been doing that and a lot of housework.
Yeah. Well, that's just being married. That's what happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm painting the house right now. That was a bad mistake.
Yeah, no, you hire people for that job. I got a friend who can paint a house in an hour.
Yeah, I should have got the spray gun.
Yeah. But
Oops.
with the spray gun, you run into a lot more issues though. If you're not trained on how to do it, it's just like screwed up the wall. Time to do it again.
Yeah, luckily I used to paint for a living. I'm good.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So you got the experience.
Yeah,
So
I decided a roller would be perfect for this idea.
nope.
Again, go back and pick the right equipment to do the job.
Right, exactly. So do you have any favorite cosplayers that you like?
I have favorite costumes. Like I don't have one person where like I'm like, oh, they do such amazing work all the time because everybody's got their off day. And like certain cosplayers do great this and then they do horrible this. So it's kind of like I like the work they did on this project. They did on that project. So
Mhm.
saying I've got a favorite one, no, not so much.
Yeah.
But there are so many awesome cosplayers.
Yeah. So if you could meet one where you're like, I need to meet this one cosplayer, who would it be and what would you say to them?
Have
I'm sorry?
I've met most of the ones that I actually wanted to meet,
There you
so
go.
I'm
There you
kind of
go.
like I'm off that list. So
Yeah. I think for me, like one of the top cosplayers I got to meet one day is Jessica Nigri because her memes and her attitude are just hilarious. I love that.
Yeah, I love her work. She does some great work.
Yeah, and she's in Arizona. I'm just
No,
saying.
you can't go anywhere without running into her.
Yeah, right. So what is your worst cosplay horror story?
I had a full armor failure. My first time in my stormtrooper. Complete armor failure. I had done it myself. It was my first big suit of armor, and I kind of got told, "Okay, this is how you do it. Now go." And I ran and I ran and I was trying to get it done, and I am the first stormtrooper to ever hit anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was working on my bicep. I was trimming a little bit of the connecting plastic
Yeah.
on this desk right here, and my blade hit an air pocket inside the plastic,
Ooh.
and it flew through the bottom of the plastic. My knuckles hit the edge of my desk, and I drove my razor blade into my thigh. It was horrible.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Razor
it was
blade. Oh, that not fun. That would be a
30,
horror story. Yeah.
36 stitches and getting to see my femoral artery later.
Right. So, what would be the funniest cosplay story you've done?
I was actually with one of my friends at Phoenix Comic Con a couple years ago when John Bowerman, and we get in the elevator and we're not even paying attention. We're having a conversation amongst ourselves, and we get about 3 floors down from where we were at, and both of us stop, and it registers in our brain that John Bowerman's standing behind us. And we
Right.
just kind of like did the over the shoulder look, and nope, don't say a word. Don't
You're
say
like,
a word.
yeah.
And it was funny because when we got off the elevator, he goes, "Do you know who I am?" "Yes, sir." And he found it absolutely hilarious that we weren't like dying to get a picture with him, but I love the guy. He's a great actor.
No, yeah.
And I've always looked at it as in he's not on the clock. He
Yeah.
this personal life, not work.
No,
So
yeah,
I've
that's nice of you of thinking of that. Like, there's so many people who fangirl or fanboy over a celebrity like that, and you know, whereas, the older you get, the more wiser you get, and you're like, hey, you're not on the clock. I'm not gonna bother you. It's cool,
yeah.
you know.
And it actually came in handy because this year when he was at not this year but the year before, excuse me, ran into him on the floor at Phoenix Fan,
Mhm.
and he's like, "Hey, I remember you." I'm
And
like,
like,
"Uh
crap.
oh,
It's
that's
like
bad."
a celebrity remembers me. What did I do?
I'm like, "Well, I don't. So I'm not getting tackled by security, so it's not a bad remember. All right, we're good to go."
Right, exactly. You're like, well, did I fart in the elevator?
Hmm.
No, no, yeah. There's so many interactions that you have when you're a cosplayer, and it's fun when you meet your idols and everything like that. I know when my daughter met one of her favorite actors, Michael Lewis. He played Neville Longbottom from Harry Potter.
Yep.
She was just like, I want to talk, but I can't. I'm like, he's just a normal person. It's
Just speak.
okay. Just say what you want to say. And she's like, she mustered, can I give you a hug? And he's like, yeah. And so she has that photo with him, and it's in her room, and it's autographed and everything. And she's like, oh my god, that was like the best thing in my life. Now, doing that, what is your best interaction in cosplay that you've
Ah,
had?
I have to say it was when I got my picture taken with Jeff Goldblum. He stopped, he looked at me, and like the only thing that could come out of my mouth was, "Man, you are tall." And he went, he looked at it, he looked at my cape because I was in this, and he goes, "This is better than the one in the movie." I'm like,
You're like, all right. That's coming
I don't
from
even know
a
what to say.
yeah. No, there's so many things that when you work on a cosplay and it comes out perfect and you're just like, this is amazing. And that's the great thing about cosplay, in my opinion, is you get to create something out of nothing and just like see the finished product, and it's awesome. So, is this the most detailed cosplay you've done?
Yes and no, because I'm working on one that's going to have way more detail than that. I'm actually working on Gypsy Danger from Pacific Rim. 10
Wow,
feet. Yeah, it's going to be 10 feet tall by the time I'm done.
nice.
Lights, sound, effects, whole nine.
There you go.
And this is off a dare.
There you go. Well, and it's good that your spouse is appreciative to what you do and allows you to do it.
Not married.
Wait, oh, I thought you were married.
No.
Okay. So you're it's good that you have the
Have support.
support from somebody.
Yeah, it's actually their fault because literally it was. I bet you couldn't do that if you tried.
Oh, nice.
Mm, okay.
You're like, we
It's
will
on.
see. $50 says I can. Yeah.
I'll show you you're right.
I'll show you.
Wait a
Right.
minute.
Right. Exactly. No, it's fun because, you know, when we have these interactions, we get to uh have that desire to continue on and on and on, because like it was back in the 90s and the early 2000s, you were a geek, you were a dweeb if you dressed up for any convention, or heck, you were a dweeb if you went to conventions, and it's awesome to see how the cosplay community has grown so much. um one thing in particular is the Arizona cosplay community. It's very welcoming. And it was like, I think there was a post today that I saw where it doesn't matter how tall you are, how short you are, how skinny you are, how fat you are, or how young or old you are a cosplayer. And it's like, and that's the cool thing about it. So, what have you ever cosplayed with a family member?
Not necessarily a family member, but a friend of the family. One of my friends, their kid had terminal.
Terminal cancer.
She passed a few years ago. The last thing she did was went with me to Comic Con, and she wanted to be Harley Quinn. And as painful as it was, she wanted me to be in my Batman, which is, if anybody's ever seen a Batman costume, hot, you're not mobile, and you're miserable the whole time. And I spent probably 8 hours in it.
Yeah.
And that was the most memorable because I went around to, and this was the part that just made me cry, her mom cry,
Hmm.
everybody cried. I went around to all of the groups, like uh, the 501st, the local chapter, uh, DOZD, the Arizona Hive, the Ghostbusters, all of them. Told them, hey, this is what's going on, do. And it was, they had such a big turnout for it.
Very
And
nice.
just that outpour, and everybody kept in touch with everything.
Nice.
It was a big deal. And
That's very
it
good.
meant a lot.
Yeah, of course. So, what's the biggest con that you've cosplayed at?
I pretty much stay local right now. I want to go to San Diego, but I want an in.
You want to
I don't want
invite
to just.
first, yeah. No, yeah,
Yeah, I
right.
want them going. No, please come,
Yes,
come.
you come, come, yeah. Like that's exactly. The more you show off, like your cosplays and everything, the more people are gonna say, "Hey, you know what? Yeah, we want you to come. We'll pay for your ticket. We'll pay for your flight. We'll pay for your hotel. It's okay." And you're like, "Sweet." You know,
Oh no, I just want the ticket. That's all it is.
no,
So hard to get tickets for San Diego.
no, yeah, one the ticket is like very expensive. It's like $250 for the whole convention because, of course, if you're going to go to San Diego Comic Con, you're going to go the whole time. You're not
Yeah.
going to go like, oh, we'll go a day. No, it's the whole time. But yeah, so it would be awesome to get to that level and be able to get invited to cons and everything.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite cosplay photo of yourself? Do you have a favorite?
It's actually one that was done a little bit ago. It's yeah. It's on my Instagram right now. I love it. It's my profile picture for everything. Except
Mhm.
for my face as well. I've got but it was taken at Tucson
Oh,
and it's yet again in this. It's my favorite.
no, of course. Like once you've made a cosplay where you're just like, this is my favorite, then you're gonna wear it to every convention. Like for me, it's my Link cosplay. It's just amazing. And it's not even complete. Um, and that you once you've found that cosplay, you're gonna wear it to every single convention because that's how people recognize you.
Until the threads fall out and then you're going to put them back in.
Yes, and you repair that stuff. So, have you ever bought a pre-style wig before?
I have, and it didn't stay for longer than about an hour. So I ended up having to find somebody at the convention, beg,
Oh,
plead, whine, whimper, bribe for them to fix it. And I still have it. It's up on the display case right now.
so do you wear a wig with the Doctor Strange cosplay, or is you just go with your natural
No,
hair? You're like, it's
I
heavy
go with
enough.
it. I've got it. We're good. While I
Yeah.
still have it.
Yep. While we still have our hair,
Yeah,
No.
I've got the widow's peak just like Benedict, so
There you
I'm
go.
all right.
You're good. You're good. Yeah, exactly. So, um, what go-to stores do you prefer to go to when you're buying fabric and materials?
Fabric is Sass and Joanne. All my other stuff, they know me at Home Depot as the weird question.
The weird question guy. Nice.
Yeah. So I'm making this. I'm looking for something kind of like this, and this.
I think
Yeah, good kept over
nowadays,
there.
yeah, I think nowadays a lot of Home Depot workers and Lowe's, they're getting questions from cosplayers. Hey, this is what I want to make, and they're like, "Oh, okay, you're gonna go over here." They're getting more knowledgeable where you have to go to find those pieces.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's been getting better.
Yeah. So, uh, have you ever had have someone mistake you as a different character before?
Yeah, and it was kind of funny because it was one of those things where it's like, hey, wait a minute, no. And then I realized, okay, from their perspective, yeah, it was a 6 year old kid when I was in my Saiyan
Hmm.
who evidently thought I was a Power Ranger. I was like, okay, I can see it.
Yeah, yeah. And you're like,
Yeah,
yeah, all right.
can't
So
even get mad at the kid.
no, of course not. Yeah, it was hilarious. One time I was in my Spider-Man outfit, and I did a photo shoot, and this was before Into the Spider Verse came out, and somebody says, "Oh man, hey, you would make a amazing Parker B version." I'm like, thanks for pointing out my gut. I was like, "You little jackanini," you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
I got that in my Stormtrooper. Aren't you a little big to be a Stormtrooper? Hey, shut up.
like, aren't you a little small to be making jokes? No. Yeah, but no, like you said, you're you're gonna get more attention the more you put your stuff out there, of course, and positive, negative, you're going to have a lot of issues with that. But eh, as long as you know you're rocking it, it's okay, and that's what I told my coworkers when they found my Instagram. It's like, why are you cosplaying as Spider-Man? Spider-Man's skinny. I'm like, no, he's not. There's fat
Not when I
Spider-Man.
put it on.
It's like that's me. And but that's the cool thing. So what are all the cosplays you've done?
Oh man, let's see. I've got my Batman, Stormtrooper. I've got plenty of steampunk stuff out the wazoo. Attack on Titan, which I'm still working on. I did it originally, and now there's a bunch of stuff I've got to do to fix it. Wore it once and figured out where all the flaws are.
Oh yeah, of course. That's what happens.
Duct tape and a box of safety pins will be all right. I've got my Fallout, my Judge Dredd, Seven Deadly Sins. I did Meliodas. We'll see how that goes again. I've got to finish my Dragon Ball for the second time. Torchwood, Firefly. Man. Working on my Jaeger. And yeah, it's.
Wow. Torchwood, I'm surprised you didn't fanboy when you saw John Barrowman.
It is so hard, and I've met
you're
a bunch
like,
of them, and
you're
I'm
like,
just
oh my god.
like,
Right. Yeah, exactly. No, it's
because I actually do jacks, so it's like,
yeah.
and then when I got to actually do the photo with him, I squeed and I fanboyed then, and he
Of
went,
course.
"Now you can do it." I'm like,
It's like, yeah.
excited.
Of course, because like that's the great thing is you meet that person that you've looked up to and you've seen in their movies or TV shows and just like wow, I cannot believe this is so surreal now. It's like it's amazing. So, what's the biggest I'm sorry. Do you prefer cosplaying with characters with props or without props?
Oh, I love my props. I will show one off right now. I just finished it for my last photo shoot. Still working.
Still working through the kinks.
Kind of. It's right now. It's just finding the button for it.
That's
I love
that's the
my
thing.
props. I love props. It's actually how I got my big start in cosplay. There it is. Oh, now I lost it.
Lost the connection.
That is exactly it.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Wow.
Yeah, completely see through, and it lights up all the way. It That is a lot of engraving, let me tell you.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that's a
Yeah,
lot.
I'm also working on my time spell and all that, and then I've got the sword back over here for Meliodas.
Nice.
It Props are where I started, so I've not done a costume that doesn't
So
have
have you made the magic hands yet for Doctor Strange?
that is actually one of the things I'm working on. I found out heating and shaping. Uh, oh, you're talking
The
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 she-
the
the
circle.
field stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, I've got that actually almost done. I've just got to connect uh, the third piece of plexi,
Yep.
and then run my lighting
Yeah.
and mounting system, which I'm still working on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. That's
yeah, my time spell's what's dragging me right now.
yeah. The time spell.
Yeah, because I'm actually going to have it rotating
Oh.
and yeah, mounting the motors right, and I've got to go through and with the Dremel after it's already formed, I've got to make my own teeth that match up.
That's gonna take a lot of time.
Yeah, if I could quit breaking the circles
But the
when I
good
go
thing
to
is you enjoy that. And that's the thing about it. It's just like you enjoy making the product.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't say enjoy making it. I like the after effect.
Yeah.
I like when it's done and over.
No, yeah, well, yeah. I guess yeah, that's true. Is like working on the cosplay. Heck, like even setting up this microphone for me, it was like because it came with no instructions whatsoever where to plug anything in, and I did it for like was working on for 2 hours to get the right sound, the right the right um, position. I was like, oh my god, I wonder how these cosplayers feel with their cosplayers. I was like, oh my gosh, working with a freaking microphone for 2 hours. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Um, so when uh, when you are at a convention, have you ever lost something at a convention?
Not yet, thank God.
Knock on wood. Right. Have you ever purchased anything from a con?
This right here.
Uh, there you go.
I needed it the day of the competition, and the guy's like, "I've got one. I will have it here tomorrow." And I'm like,
Sweet.
"Don't forget it."
It's like, please, yeah, that's one thing is like, don't forget it, please. That's important, you know. So, have you ever cosplayed in a group?
I've tried to set up groups, but a lot of times getting everybody on the same page has been the problem.
I
I've
think
had a
that's
couple.
the best. The most frustrating thing about groups is getting everybody on the same page.
Yeah, I've had a couple groups where I'm like, okay, just everybody bring your stuff here and leave. Just drop it off. I will fix it. I will get it where you want it. Just leave me alone.
Right?
And those work really well,
Yeah.
but I don't do much group cosplaying because I don't have much social time between work and sleep.
Yeah. That's usually what it is like we work for 8 to 12 hours a day and then go home, we're tired. We have other hobbies that we do and everything like that. And yeah,
Like breathing.
right.
Taking 5 minutes.
Yeah, right. Now that's what happens is like we but have you ever heard of the saying the older you get, the more detailed your cosplays become?
Yes, and I can see it. Going back to like when I did my first one, it was, yeah, it needed help. But but going back and then fixing what I wanted to do originally
Hmm.
has been so much fun because that's what I've been doing this past little bit is just going back and touching up and doing detail work on everything.
Yeah.
Really put 100% into everything.
Well, that's good. So, if you could do it all again, like what is something that you would fix? Like if you could tell your past self anything about cosplaying, what would it be?
Don't start the month of con. Start after con.
Start
Build
after the con.
earlier.
Yeah, build everything. So you're more of the con crunch type of person.
I end up that way sometimes. And it's, work, this, that, the other thing. Life gets in the way.
Yeah.
And I hate when I have to do it that way because I always feel like I'm not putting in enough. And then get super conscious about it until everybody's like, oh, it looks good. I'll take good. I'm okay.
So have you ever done cosplay panels?
I haven't. I usually spend most of my time wandering the floor and talking to people and seeing people I haven't seen for like 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I haven't had an invite yet.
Maybe something you can create.
Yeah, and then I got to remember to go to it.
Yeah, true.
That's my biggest problem is making panels because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, yep.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be cool. It's gonna be awesome. And then you're busy in the vendor hall. You're like, hold on. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially with the Game On Expo with all the arcade games around. And you're like, hold on, I'm playing this game.
yeah. I end up over in the pachinko area.
Yeah, I remember I went to Cobra. It's a arcade slash bar in downtown Phoenix.
Yeah.
I think I put $5 for coins, and I was playing video games like for 3 hours. I was like, "What the heck? This is amazing!" And then we as a group we all jumped on the Simpsons arcade game, and we finally beat it because it was all our dream to beat Simpsons arcade, and we always couldn't beat it because we ran out of money. And so when we were kids, and so we're like, "Let's do this!" And I tell you not, like I kid you not, our hands were like we couldn't even play another video game after we played that game. I was like, oh my gosh, like the things we did when we were little, right?
And now your body's like, I can't anymore.
Yeah, it's like your body doesn't move like that. Um, so, what is your ultimate dream cosplay? Was this it?
No, I actually don't have like a set goal for it.
Hmm.
I see something come up and it's just like I don't know how I would do that. So let's do it.
Yeah.
Like oh, I just totally spaced the guy's name. The villain from Spider-Man Far From Home.
Mysterion.
Yeah. I looked at it. How would you make the cape light up? How would you do the head? And now I have to do it because I have to figure out how to do that. So
Yeah,
that's become my new goal.
that's cool.
Yeah,
So
as
yeah,
soon as I
maybe
can figure it out.
yeah. One cosplayer told me my ultimate dream cosplay is the one I want to do next, and then
Ooh.
he'll do it, and then he'll move on to the next one, which is next dream. And so he's getting his dream cosplays, and he has to create new ones all the time. I think for me personally, it's just buying the armor suit of Iron Man for $10,000. That's the ultimate dream. On body armor, fullbodyarmor.com or something. I can't remember the website, but they have a full on Mark 47 Iron Man suit that the helmet opens up. It has a voice changer. The hands light up. The feet moves. It opens up so you can step out of it. You can step into it. It closes up on you. It's the ultimate Iron Man suit. $10,000.
I'm gonna start saving my pay.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm saving my pennies, and I'm gonna eventually, even if I'm like 60 years old, it's gonna happen. Yeah, you just got to be
Yeah.
skinny enough for it. They could build your costume the way it fits to your body, but you gain an ounce of weight, it's done.
Yeah.
So
That'd be
that's the hardest part.
$10,000. Can't even fit it.
That's the hardest part. You're like, oh, it's a beautiful $10,000 piece, but I can't fit into it anymore because it crushes my insides.
Who needs a sport?
Who needs the spleen? Really? They're overrated. So do you prefer oh, this is a stupid question. No, we're gonna skip this one because you don't buy your cosplays. Have you ever bought a cosplay piece?
I bought my Batman because I looked at it and I'm like, I will build one from scratch later, and I have been working on that one. If I could figure out a direction to go with it, it'd be so much easier.
Yep.
Because each Batman I see, I'm like, oh no, I like that part. No, that crap.
Yeah, for
So
me, I think it's a Deadpool cosplay. To build that yourself, mm, lots of leather, lots of expense.
I've
But
got the pleather for it.
yeah,
I've decided to go the cheaper pleather route,
oh, leather.
and I'm just like, do I want to commit to that much heat?
Yeah, because
That
that seems like it's a lot of heat.
that's a heat stroke.
And maybe for Sabaton Con or maybe the con out up in Flagstaff, maybe that'd be nice.
Do they have any in Alaska?
Right? You might be really nice and warm in Alaska.
Right? Yeah, we'll go outside in the middle of winter and do this. Yes.
Yeah, like if there was a hole in the mask where you could like drink water all the time, then that'll be okay. But whew, that seems
Bet
like it's a
you,
hot cosplay.
I bet you could make like a little hose that ran in.
Yeah. So that you're
Work.
not, dying. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I got to figure out how to make that work.
There you go. Sorry for that.
It happens.
It happens. So, what's the most difficult character makeup you've done? Have you ever done character makeup?
Not for me, but I helped somebody. Uh, Completely blue Twi'lek.
Wow.
Oh, 6 hours of
You're like, you
are
know,
we there yet?
you're a
No.
professional painter, so
Yeah, no, I was like, I can bring the rig. I mean, we
we're
can do
and
this
you
right.
spray paint you,
Turn,
turn, right?
done.
Exactly. You're
Yeah, next
done.
time that's how that's going.
Yeah, right? Just, like put something over their eyes. There you go.
Just take some paintball grenades, throw them in a tent. Poof,
Poof.
you're done.
You're done. You're good. Your paint job is done. Um, so, in your opinion, what makes a cosplayer a pro cosplayer?
It's the little thing because when being that I've been judged by these lovely people, the further up you go in the chain, the more attentive to detail they're looking. Like little things like, did you buy that or did you make that? Was that 3D printed or did you craft it? Did you craft it from something that was 3D printed?
Mhm.
What material? They want every little detail and they want it reference photos. And I prefer to go off action figures versus reference photos.
Nice.
But when I have to go off reference photos, I've got a stack. All I don't even print them out at the house. I take them straight down to the copy. Like, okay, print this flash drive.
You're
Ah,
like,
crap.
there's like 100 pages here. Yep, please do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the most I ever spent was on the printout for Doctor Strange. Just $200 at the printer, just on reference pictures getting them printed out.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's pretty craziness.
It
So,
looked like the movie exploded in my living room.
hey,
Oh, the scenes are everywhere.
that's when you're doing it right, right? So,
Yeah.
what do you think is the favorite part about cosplay?
My favorite part has nothing to do with making it, has to do with wearing it or seeing people I haven't seen. It's people that I have no clue who they are when, they walk around the corner or they turn around and they see you in that costume, that they are looking for somebody in it to get that picture with and they're a good one. Eyes light up like a candy store. They're like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
And they lose their mind over it.
Yeah.
Like I had Kid in my Batman. There wasn't a single Batman at the convention. I was reluctant to wear it, and I was just like, "Fine, I'm gonna." He started crying because he was able to, get a picture with Batman. That, oh, just to know you can bring that amount of happiness to somebody,
Yeah.
and especially with the line of work I'm in, joy is something that's big with it.
Yeah.
Just seeing everybody.
No, I think for a lot of people, it's a chance to be somebody you're not. To be like a different character, a different personality. A lot of people like that. So, of course, like everything, there's a good and there's a bad to everything. So, what is the worst thing about cosplay?
Oh, I'd have to say where they
What?
get so heavy and cumbersome, and then you're sitting there sweating, and you're like, I'm miserable, and I'm having fun at the same time. I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
they need to make everything like weigh an ounce. That would make it so much.
Right. Yeah, like sometimes that cosplay, that you have on, it looks amazing, but it doesn't feel amazing because something's pinching you or something's like, just you've been walking around all day and like something weighing on your shoulders. But of course, like, hey, you do it all for the gram, It's like do it all
Yeah.
for do it for the gram. It's you want that attention. I think during the pandemic, we're not getting that attention as a cosplayer, and that's what's driving a lot of people insane. Is because the conventions are closed, and so what are you doing to deal with that? Like with the whole, are you amping up your Instagram? Or are you what are you doing?
I've actually been working so much that I haven't had a chance to really getting the whole, oh, I'm not able to, like, it sucks that I'm not able to go anywhere, and I'd love to go to a con, but I'm too tired to even worry about that right now.
Yeah.
I've been trying to keep myself in a positive mode, but it's been rough. Definitely missing people depression going on.
Yeah.
But, trying to stay active and social
Yeah.
has been the main goal.
Yeah, they just put back overtime on our yard and where I work, and I'm like, yes, finally, I can make and some extra money so I can be able to afford the cosplay material. Yeah,
Right?
all right.
Well, they're
That.
working us 12s and 16s, so
Yeah. No,
you
luckily
want
for
them to
me,
be
it's
good.
8 to 4 Monday through Friday. But
Uh,
if I wanna come in earlier, I can, and stay later, I can.
oh, I'll
So,
trade you.
all right. No, I've done that 12-hour shifts and then 16-hour shifts because you're mandated to stay for 4 extra hours even after working 12-hour shifts, and it's like, oh, thanks. I didn't want to see my family tonight. Nah, that's good.
Yeah, I don't know where I live anymore, so if you get, let me know.
But the good thing about it is that you're you have a job. It's
Yeah.
and like it's not laid off city where you're collecting unemployment if you can. And that's the hardest thing is that people actually lost their jobs during this whole pandemic,
Yeah.
and
A lot
it's
of businesses are closing too.
a lot of businesses are closing, and that's the sad thing about it. So, do you think this is going to be the new normal for us, that we're when they do open conventions, that we're going to have to wear a mask?
No, I really don't. I don't think it's going to be, I think it's the new now normal. Like
Yeah,
for now, it's normal.
yeah,
If honestly, if we could all just stay home and quit going out and, hanging out with our friends in parking lots and stuff, because I've been seeing a lot of that.
too
A
much.
lot of people having
You're like,
virus
stop it.
virus parties.
Yeah,
Go home, stay home, only go to the store when you need to. Wear the stupid mask. Just put it on.
yeah. No, it's one thing that I've seen. It's just if somehow, like anyhow, I don't know how it would even work, but to have everybody go to the store, say, hey, everybody, buy 2 weeks worth of food. 2 weeks worth of food. Like buy 2 weeks of food. Buy it. And then go home, and then everything shuts down. That army are like lined outside people's doors, and like, okay, everybody stay home. Do not go anywhere for 2 weeks. The virus would be dead.
Well, look at a lot of the countries that were around during the plague, like
Yeah.
bubonic plague.
Yeah.
They've seen plenty of plagues come and go through the years. Their governments came out and said, everybody, we're going to shut down for 18 days. We don't want to see you guys again for 20. Everything that's non-essential, which is this, and this,
Yeah.
is done. Stop, pick up stuff on your way home. We've already overstocked the grocery stores.
Yep.
Go home, stay home. Clean your house, stay healthy. If you get sick, call the number. We'll come take care of you.
Yeah.
And they're coming out of it and they're like, we're fine now. It's gone. We're
Yeah.
not having recurrences.
Like
The
Australia,
problem
New
is,
Zealand, like they got a grip on it. They're good, but
yeah. And they're like wondering what we're over here doing. And part of the problem is, we're Americans. We have rights and freedoms. And, well, you got the right to stick your finger in a light socket. You probably shouldn't do it.
right.
At this
Exactly.
point, you need to not stick your finger in the light socket, stay home, don't go anywhere, and we can go back to normal.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing is like, you guys want to go back to normal. Everybody's upset about having to wear a mask and do this and do that, and not being able to go here, go there. Stay home.
Yeah.
Give us 18 days. Everybody will be all right.
No, it was hilarious. I pushed a guy out of Barro's Pizza the other day. He didn't wear a mask. I was like, get out of here then. I was
Well, see,
like,
even with that, it's the only reason we have to wear the mask is so because people weren't listening to that 6 foot distance.
Yeah.
Well, if you do the 6 foot distance, you don't have to wear the mask.
Yeah.
It's like, which one do you want to go with? I
Yeah.
mean,
No, what they should have
I like
done,
people to stay 6 feet away from
what
me.
they should have done was just like, hey, national directive, everywhere wear a mask if you go outside. The minute you go outside, put on a mask. I don't care, whatever. If you're in your car, you can take it off, but put on the mask. Not they shouldn't have like given a loophole because people are like, oh, I'm 6 feet away, but then they're not. They're really
Yeah,
not.
well, my biggest thing is
They're 6 baby
back in the
steps away.
beginning of it. Yeah. Back in the beginning of it, Fauci came out and said, hey, if this doesn't go away by the end of April, we're going with herd immunity.
Yeah.
People are forgetting that was the plan from the beginning. Is
Yeah.
you know, we're all supposed to just get it now.
Yeah.
And
That's crazy.
it'll make it go away. It's kind of a reckless run into it. I think Fauci
Right.
kind of hit his head. But
Right. I think
is
yeah, it is what it is. And like unfortunately in the cosplay community right now, it's a lot of people are stressed because they're like, our con's gonna come back. You know, like I think when we have a live concert again, then that's when cons are gonna come back. You know.
as soon as the first live concert, you're gonna hear all cosplayers go, oh,
All right, finally.
okay.
We're
Everybody
good.
load up the boxes and buckets. Let's go.
Let's go. We're going to Savaging Con. We're going to TaiyoCon.
We're just gonna go look at a convention center. Come on. Everybody
Let
in the
us
car.
in. No, yeah, right. It's gonna be a tour, like so Nano Hero is excited that he sees Doctor Strange. He's in the team. Doctor Strange. So, as a cosplayer, you know, what do you think is your biggest regret?
Oh, not starting sooner. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, not knowing about it sooner, I guess.
Yeah, well, you know, like there's been times where it's just like you just find out about a con a month, you know, till the con, and you're like, oh, I didn't know about that con. Sweet, let's do it. And now you're crunched, con crunching
Yeah.
through it.
Well, I didn't find out about conventions until 9 years ago. So I was like, things like my interests are like that they have parties for these? Yes.
Yeah. No, yeah. There's lots of things that we can do when we're cosplayers, and conventions are our thing, and that's where we're going to show off our cosplays a lot. Now, what about the whole thing about you have to fit the right build for the cosplayer? Now, unfortunately, we as a cosplay community, they had to release the cosplay does not equal consent. What do you feel
Which I
about that?
think is for the lowest denominator in the group. Because if you need to be told that, you probably shouldn't be allowed out of the house without a dog. Because
Yeah.
Yes means consent.
Yes
I mean,
means consent. No means no.
Yeah. And and yes is not allowed.
Right.
Sorry. Inside joke there, I guess.
Right.
But you can't, like, to have to say that to an intelligent community of geeks and nerds kind of really makes me question whether we're being as smart as we, because you shouldn't have to tell somebody just because they look good doesn't mean they're consenting to things.
Honestly, I think we have a lot of thirsty people in the community of cosplay, but you know,
Yeah, and that's a problem
yeah.
as well.
Well, you know, like for a lot of
Go find your
people,
own watering.
well, you know, because cosplay back in the early 2000s or 90s, it was more like geared to, oh, hey, can you cosplay for this movie premiere and look like this character? And cosplay was like the more detailed you had it towards the character, the more realistic you looked towards the character. That was the cosplay back then. Now it's like, oh, this is my version of this character. I'm a Spider-Man, Iron Man. I'm a, you know, like they start to mix genres like DC and Marvel mix, and it's becoming more accepted, more popular to have that.
And
What's
see,
your
that I'm
thoughts
like
about that?
totally cool with.
Yeah,
I'm totally cool with like doing a mashup, making it something completely like three characters mashed into one. I love that because it shows creativity, and if you can make it flow, even more creativity. The
yeah.
ones I've always had a problem with since the beginning is the one that would take Iron Man and turn it into
Turn it
like
into a what?
into a bikini,
Oh, yeah.
because you're completely ruining the whole point of the costume itself, and then you're just over sexualizing the character,
Well, I
which is
think,
just
yeah, I think that the cosplay uh, people in the cosplay community sometimes like to sexualize a character because they're going to get more views, they're going to get more attention.
and that's exactly it.
Yeah,
You're no
Nano
longer focused
says,
on
yeah,
craftsmanship.
Nano says, I think at the same time, we sometimes make someone feel uncomfortable without realizing it. I think we have all been guilty of that at some point. Um, yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. I've never went up to somebody and says, "Hey, you should be a little skinnier for this role," But
Right.
I've seen that
You said it
happen
to
to a
myself.
lot of people. Like I was told I had to hit a treadmill when I went on my Spider-Man cosplay. Hey, it's whatever. It's everybody's opinion.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, you're
You're
too
allowed an
chunky for
opinion.
that. Whatever. That's your opinion. That's cool. I remember I was at a gas station and I was in full Spider-Man because I was running out of gas, and I'm like, I'm never gonna make it to the convention if I don't fill up, and I'm already Spider-Man, so I'm like, forget it, mask on, and
All the way.
I go in there and I'm like 20 on 7, and this old guy looks at me and goes, why? And I'm like, why not? And and then the guy behind him was like, man, old man, shut up. He looks better than that than you would ever. He's like, you go, Spidey, you go, man. And it was hilarious. I was like, wow, that's the community that we have. It's like no matter what you look like, you're gonna be a cosplayer. But yeah, if you go up to a cosplayer and like grab them around their waist and they're not ready for that, they're not gonna like it. They're like,
You might.
you're touching my no square.
Yeah.
It's
You get dropped, you've got yourself to blame for that one,
yeah, it's
which I think we should do more of.
what?
Somebody comes up and grabs you, push them
Sure.
back, throw an elbow if you got to, do
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, right. Just use that training we got, hand behind the back and boom, down on the ground.
Is
Just
that the concrete you're licking?
just never go in the clamshell. Yeah. But there's so many things that we do as cosplayers, and that's why I love to get into the nitty gritty of cosplaying when I interviewing all these different cosplayers. So far, let's see, 12, 13, 14. You're the 14th cosplayer that we've interviewed on this channel. And it is so crazy to see the different stories, the different avenues that we take. What is the best advice that you could give to a new cosplayer?
Don't give up. You will always do better. Don't look at what you're doing right now and go, this is the best it's going to be. Because you will always be if you're pounding on your, if you go, this is what I'm going to do, and you just, every single move you make, you're like, I'm going to do it the best I've ever. You
Yeah,
will make better every single step.
yeah. It's always fun when you have that support from a community to help you out. And you just joined Heroes United AZ. Of course, at the worst time when it's pandemic time and we can't do anything.
Right?
Hopefully, I know. Hey, I was the same way. I joined, I think, right before you. I think I joined the community, and it's just like, oh, great. Now we can't do anything. All right. Well,
Right.
in a year we'll see each other. Each other. And
Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
swear this is my fault. I cursed the year. I was like, this is the year I'm going to be more social. I'm going to be more active in the community.
yeah, right.
Pandemic.
I think that's everybody's thought. It's like, oh, this is the year. This is gonna be my year. Like 2020, we just have to say, screw you, man. And I just
I
found out.
apologize to my 2019 calendar.
Yeah, I know, right? We're like, screw you, 2019, you're done. Oh, now we're in 2020. Can we go back to
And
2019? No.
yeah, 2020 is like, oh, you thought 2019 was bad. Hold
Yeah.
my beer.
Well, no. And I just
Oh
read,
no.
that Regis Philbin died right now. So I'm like, dang it, man, taking
Can
another one.
somebody check on Betty White? That's
I,
all I'm
I know
saying.
Betty White, man. She better not. I'm just
I
saying.
think if he goes, it's actually a sign of the apocalypse.
It's I think so. Uh,
She's
and
been in she's been in her 60s for the last 60 years.
right,
So
right, exactly. So you said you started cosplaying with props. What is the hardest prop you think you've made, or one of the hardest?
they're all uh
They're all difficult.
the
I
hardest
I
part for
think
me,
I would have to agree with you. Like making a prop is difficult.
is actually the research I put in because I don't just go, okay, this is kind of what it looks like. Like I will sit there and did Ramona Flowers hammer from Scott Pilgrim versus the World,
Okay.
and it is ridiculously detailed. Like people say that and they're like, "Oh yeah, no." Like, did you know that there are 24 beads at the end of that hammer with a quarter-inch bell?
Wow.
Yeah.
Did
Most
not
people
know
don't
that.
know that.
Did not know that.
There are, and they're not just silver. They're silver, copper, and brass. Silver, copper, and brass. All the way down to the silver bell.
Yeah,
And then there are 24 notches in the handle at the bottom and 24 notches at the top.
makes sense.
Yeah, there are certain people that go, no, no, really, there is. I've got pictures to prove it.
Yeah, it's just like this was the angle that you didn't see because it was too quick, but there you go.
But when you slow it down to frame by frame and you blow it up to 10 times magnification,
Right.
you can see.
You can see. No, but see, like anybody who is judging you on a masquerade and knows that costume, every detail is going to go, whoa, you saw that detail in that cosplay. Boom. You're amazing right there. Right there.
Yeah.
That hands down, you're the only one that's ever done that part of the cosplay. That's the thing. So, um, thank you for coming on here and taking the time to answer questions. This is where I leave it up to the chat for a little bit to see if they have any questions. So if you have a question you would like to ask Sandman Cosplay, feel free to put it into the chat. I think for cosplayers during the pandemic, it's very hard to um, want to get into like doing photo shoots by yourself and everything because yeah, we can't meet up, we can't socialize. So it's just like, okay, we're gonna have to do a photo shoot by ourselves, and that's propping up your camera and taking, setting it to auto shoot, and you're just like posing. And like you said yourself, you haven't gotten into the cosplay for many months.
Yeah.
So,
It's really hard to get into a photo shoot. I did this one right as the pandemic was winding up.
mhm.
So I kind of had like the knowing it was coming because the way everything was going, you knew something bad was happening.
Yeah,
But I tried to get motivated to do a different shoot, and I couldn't even get like it didn't seem like a point. It
yeah.
was really hard.
So
I made it.
one question is, do you do this for a living?
Oh no. I do my living so I can do this.
Yeah, I do my living so I can do this. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
everybody's.
they canceled conventions, and I'm like, do I even need to go to work now? I mean,
Yeah, like, well, it's like I don't need to buy anything for the conventions, like, because what would you say is a good money amount to have with you for a convention?
it depends on how you want to go. Like, I know some people that go to conventions and they go Spartan the whole way through. It's like minimal food, not really, giving yourself luxury, and they're running about you can run about $300
Yeah,
through a convention.
yeah,
But then there's me. I go. That is my one of my vacations for the year. I'm getting the corner room with the balcony, room
nice.
service. I'm going to the revolving restaurant at the Hyatt. I'm going out to eat every night, going, doing all the fun stuff. I'm buying stupid things that end when I get home going, and I can
That's
rack
smart.
2 or 3 thousand.
Treat the convention as a vacation. That's smart.
And then you don't sleep for 3 days, for 3 or 4 days, and you're like, okay, good. I'm gonna sleep Sunday night.
So another question is, would you want to be doing this for a living one day?
Oh, I would quit my job today.
I would quit my job today if somebody said, "We're going to pay you $2,000 a week to be in this cosplay." Okay, you got yourself a deal.
I will sleep in that cosplay. Thank you.
I think that's everybody's answer when it comes to that. Well, because when you first start cosplaying, your ultimate thing is like, I wonder if there's money in this. Like a lot of like that's the first thing that goes through your head, even though you're doing it for fun and this is your passion and you love it. It's always like, I wonder if there's money in this. And I was talking to Kara Nicole, and she's a famous cosplayer who's done multiple cosplays conventions and gotten paid for it. She even ran for senator at one point. um it's just like she said, I never in my wildest dreams thought I could do this as a living. I thought, oh, I'll probably get paid to do a photo shoot or something, but that's it. And it's cool that people actually can do this for a living, like Jessica Nigri, Karen Nicole, uh, Johan Cosplay or something. Jan, I can't remember. Um, but yeah, it's good that those people can do it for a living. However, one thing that I've noticed that the people who do it for a living are very attractive,
Mhm.
you know. And so I was like,
Well, and see, this is one of those industries that is dominated by women.
yeah,
And it's really hard, especially with the current trend in cosplay of, uh, for lack of a better way to phrase it, sex sells.
hmm
And unfortunately, if you're a male cosplayer, it doesn't matter if you build, a 60-foot tall functioning Gundam for your costume, you're still not going to get the same amount of attention as a female in a bikini, which it's the nature of the beast. So,
yeah. Unfortunately, that's what happens, with a lot of things. Is just like you you see one booth and there's a girl in like a bikini and a little hat, and then on the next table you see somebody who's like not even in a cosplay panel, like not being sponsored as the cosplayer, and she's in this elaborate cosplay, and you're like, why aren't you in there and not her? Because she apparently didn't care about getting dressed up enough, but you did. And it's like, it's insane. But like I said, that's what it is in the cosplay world sometimes. And there's always the worst thing about cosplay is that we have this stigma that we have to be skinny, we have to be like very, if we want to make it as a professional career. Um,
yeah, and that is a truism. Even the few male cosplayers that are out there, they do the over sexualized version of that character.
mhm.
And that's the biggest issue with it. It's no longer about the craft.
So do you think
And
you'll ever go crossplay? Like or gender bend?
I don't know. I
You
ain't hit
never
that
know.
one yet. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, like
nobody's challenged me.
it's always funny. It's always awesome to see like a male Tifa. From
I will not be doing Faye from
hilarious. It
Cowboy
was
Bebop.
hilarious. Yeah, on Cowboy Bebop.
No Faye. No Faye.
No, but you know that's the whole thing about it is you know, like you said, it's a female dominated industry, and usually like when you want to get a picture with somebody, it's usually with a female cosplayer. It's not always a male cosplayer because you're like, hey, I'm gonna look cool next to her, you know, and it's how it is. It's how it is in the industry. I want to take this time to thank you for coming on here again. I appreciate the time that you took to get into cosplay. Your cosplay is amazing.
Thank you.
Anything you would like to say before we end?
If you're out there working on your cosplays right now, just keep pounding on your craft. Just keep working it, and don't be afraid to start over if you need to from scratch.
Yeah.
It will only be better than you did last time. Don't throw it away though, from experience. Wait till you've built the new one because you'll probably change your mind.
Right. No, yeah, it's true. And after the live stream, of course, all the videos will be on our YouTube channel. And the link is in the bio, and so and we'll have all of Sandman Cosplay's description, links and socials as well. And so yeah, thank you again.
Alrighty, thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Take care.
Bye.